Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots round my neck. Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself.
And we are live. Welcome back to Uncomfortable Combos. It's your boy, the one with the scar on his face, your boy Scarface. And you know how good it feels to be able to say that again, because it's been a hot minute since I've been made an episode. So welcome to the new season. I don't know what season, we'll call this season 2. I took a small little break just because I did, not because I needed it like mentally or anything like that. So I live in Gilbert, Arizona. And I said the next time you guys see a podcast episode from me, going to be in Gilbert, Arizona. And we finally moved. We got everything, or I got pretty much everything kind of settled. I'm working on the backdrop. It's going to change. I have some ideas, some concepts in my head that I want to do. It just, I was like today earlier, I was at Home Depot looking for some stuff. I couldn't find what I needed exactly. So I'm, but in my head, I know what I want to do already. I just need to make it happen. Whether it's like if I have to order pieces. The only thing I hate is like ordering shit online and then you get in it and you're like, this shit, it sucks. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is like order what I think I need, a sample piece, and get it, see if it's like the right stuff, type of stuff that I want, and then go from there. So, but anyways, I want to thank you guys. I know a lot of you guys have been messaging me saying like, where's the podcast? You know, this and that. It's back. We're back. I'm going to have some guests on here. I'm super excited to bring like new people on here. Actually in person, a podcast. So that's why I want to set it up in here to make it look good. That way the backdrop is nice. It's like right now it's just plain. I have a few lights in the back, which is, it's fine. It's great for what it is. But, you know, when I do have guests on here, I would like, just a better backdrop for you guys, if that makes sense. So again, thank you guys for always supporting your boy. Always, the TikToks is doing great. The IG is doing great. You guys buying the merchandise, like, thank you guys. So, welcome back to those people who are new. Welcome to the podcast. I am also going to be doing a lot more vlogs, and I'm going to be posting it on the same YouTube where I post the podcast. Just like different things that I'm going to go do around here. It's just been a little hectic, right now, just because moving, getting everything situated, and all that stuff. So it's been a little bit of a process, but we're getting there. And then like I want to get the backdrop right for you. I could have waited until I like finished the backdrop and then went from there, but I was like, no. I can't keep pushing it, because also one thing that you don't want to do too is like keep pushing it to the point where you just like get comfortable. Because there's a lot of people who start podcasts. Not a lot of people who are pretty consistent. Alex Ramosi talks about it all the time too. Like, he said like almost 90% of podcasts don't get over 21 episodes, which is true if you actually think about it. If you know someone who started a podcast, they don't have that many episodes because they're very inconsistent, not really motivated. They think they're motivated, but they just don't do it. And then me, for example, I'm so used to doing it. I think I have more than 200 episodes. So it's quite a bit, but I'm excited to bring you like the new stuff. The move was great, but before I get into everything else, because there's some things that I want to touch on, is if just it's hard because you can't necessarily check in on people. It's you just never know what people's going through. I would want somebody who knows me to feel like they can come to me if they need to talk about something. For example, like it's tragic. Uh, I talk about Troy and Brandy on the podcast all the time. How much they motivated me, like how much they push me to do better, and they're just absolutely great people. Um, and they had their son unfortunately took his own life. You know, I saw that kid grow up ever since he was a little kid in the shop. Like, mind you, I've been going to the shop for like over 9 years. They're basically family. Like, they invite me to go do stuff. So I've seen him since he was a kid growing up, and unfortunately, you just don't know what's going on in his head. And people are always like, check in on people. Yeah, but you don't know. Like, even if you check in on them, they're not going to tell you, the best thing you can do is just be comfortable with them. Like, let them know they can come and talk to you. Like, I message friends and people, like, also someone I know that's struggling right now, because not really struggling, but gone through a breakup, and just let them know that if they ever feel like that because of, the breakup. I was like, no, you call me first. You call me. You better call me first. It should never lead to that. And same with you guys. Like always, like um, that's not the answer. It's not the right way. Like there is so many people hurting right now because of his passing. Like and it's not the right way. There's everything can be fixed. There's always an answer for something. Sometimes the answer might take a little bit to get. Um, so that's why I tell like don't let this breakup lead you to the point where you need to hurt yourself because that's absolutely not the right way at all. Not even close. So, and for you guys too, like if you feel a certain way, make sure you get a hold of somebody. There's always somebody there to talk to, always somebody like that you can have a conversation with. And if you don't want to have a conversation with a family or a friend, go to somebody. There's people you can call, there's places you can go to call. That way you're not like, I don't want to talk to them because I don't want to be embarrassed. Like talk to somebody. Like it should never lead to that. And it just sucks. It's a real tragic situation. Luckily I'm gonna go. I have to go to Idaho tomorrow. Um, because originally we're supposed to film some stuff over in Idaho to this week, and then I'm gonna come back later this weekend, or later this week. But now I'm just seeing what's going on, what I can do to help because it's a tragic situation. When I first got told, I didn't believe it. You know, I didn't believe it. Like it took a little bit because I was like, "What the fuck? No, like that, no, that's not right." In your head where you're just like, that's not right. No, that can't be true. That can't. Maybe they're confusing it. No, but then it got confirmed, and yeah, I basically broke down. Like I said, I've seen these kids grow up. Like their family is basically my family too. Like we do everything together. Um, and I've gone and done multiple stuff with them. Like you know each other for like almost 10 years, like if not more. And like when that happens, it's more than just those a friendship. It turns into family. And yeah, it was just tragic what happened. It is tragic, not was. It is like I still can't. And then being this far away too, it's just like you feel like help. Like I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I sent them Troy and Brandy a message, but like what do you say? What do you say? I just told them that I love them. I'm here for them. Thinking about them, and it struggle. Like it's because I'm like, was that enough? Like what I said was enough. Like, not saying like, oh, that should qualify as enough. It's just like I don't feel like I feel like I should be doing more, right? Like, what can I do? Like, but there's really nothing you can do. It's just healing, and that's not going to happen overnight. Absolutely not. Especially the situation that happened. That's something that's going to take. You're never going to get over it, heal from it. It's just learning how to move forward. That's I saw that earlier, and that's what it is not learning to that's where I was. In the telegram, I don't have it up right now, but whoever wrote that in the telegram, you're amazing. And she said it's not about healing. She said she had the quote. I'm just gonna paraphrase a little bit. It just said it's not about the healing because you're never gonna heal over this type of situation. It's just learning how to accept it and and begin move forward. Because again, it's never they're gonna live with this for the rest of their life. That their son took his life away, and because it could have been like, oh, he could have had kids here, like he would have been this old here. It's super sad, but that's why again, just let people know that they can come talk to you. Like I messaged, like I said, friends and family, and Like if anybody needs to have like talk to me, like send me a message. That should not be the end result at all, you know? But again, you just never know because usually the ones that are going to do it are the ones that never say anything, never say anything. And you would never know. And it's that's what pretty consistent, you know? So it just sucks. But it just, I don't want to stick on it too long because it does get pretty emotional. And there's nothing I can say about it, right? The main thing to bring it up was just to let people know that they can come talk to you. Biggest thing. Like it's okay. Like you shouldn't have to feel like that. And if you need somebody to talk to, shoot me a message, call me, whatever the case may be. Like before end result is that for you. Like it's fixable. Trust me. Whatever your situation is only temporary and it can be fixed. Okay, just reach out. So we'll take a little moment from. But yes, now we're out here. Now we're out here in Gilbert, Arizona. I got a lot of things planned for which is already started into motion. Like shout out to Taste of AZ, like Jennifer. Like she's super cool. She invited me to some events and she does a lot of stuff out here. Like also I know you on the TikTok people recommended Lalo. His foot like it's funny because like they recommended him and I looked him up and I was like, oh shit, I've seen his videos. His videos are fucking hilarious. So I reached out to him. He's gonna jump on the podcast and on TikToks and just the mentality that is out here. You know, back in like if people want to hate me, I don't give a fuck. Like back in Idaho, people have the small minded mentality. Most people. I'm not saying everybody. Most people. They just don't want to grow. They don't want to see people grow. They don't want to see people do better. You know, there's those people that they want you to see do. They want to see you do good, just not better than them. You know, uh, don't get me wrong, a lot of people, have reached out, especially when I posted I was moving, supporting your boy and things like that. But there's also the people who are just like, just salty, just salty about it. And the most support I've gotten, just like on it's just people I don't know, people I don't know. And then the people who want to hustle and like are motivated to elevate to the next level, people I don't know, and they're like more than happy to work together. Like if you guys follow me on IG, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like when I post, like people, I literally said, and I'm not joking about this. I will take over AZ. Like everybody in AZ gonna know who your boy is. I'll just tell you that right now. uh, and like people, if people want to accept it or not, like a lot of people knew who I was in Idaho. Like, uh, which it's just a lot of hustle, and I want to be known for like not for a weird thing, not for something uh just like the hustling, grinding, the help, that just the type of content I do. Yeah, it does get spicy sometimes, but also like helping people. Like the amount of people that message me saying that I've helped them, they've taken some of the TikToks that I've done and used it in their relationship, and it's helped them get rid of people that were just complacent placeholders and stuff like that, and then just finally getting over situations because they're like, how much more are they gonna stick in this relationship that's not working out? So it's like things like that. Like I want to be known for that, not for something else. But there's a lot of that big goal oriented mentality out here, and I love that. Right? Like people are hustling. Like there's a what's his name? Lalo. He does his TikToks and stuff too. And then he has his own mariscos truck, which I'm gonna go try because I heard it was fire actually. I'm gonna go try it. It just like stuff like that. Like he does that. There's other people who like are wanna I don't know if the Taste of AZ girl, Jennifer, she wants to have her own restaurant place, and she's, you know, trying to put those pieces together right now to open up her restaurant idea. And just that motivation, that motivates me. And we talk about it all the time too. It's like the people that you surround yourself with has a lot to do with you. Like and then the people that I'm around, now like want to work out, like are into fitness, and that just makes me like get even more uh like try to dial in on the working out, try to dial in on the diet part. I got a bunch of healthy stuff, been cooking stuff, and things like that. So just because I'm just like I want to get dialed in too, I want to get to like where they're at, because I see how like it much more it pushes them too. So it's just a lot of motivation, and you know, uh, and also getting another thing that I'm excited for you guys is to have different perspectives on here, because yes, I know you guys like it when I answer the questions and want my 2 cents on everything, which is great. I absolutely love doing it. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it anymore. No, I also like including other people, maybe a girl. I've been wanting to include other guys in the TikToks too. It's just some guys are like super shy or don't really want to talk about certain things. Uh, but out here, I've already reached out to people and they're like, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's work. Um, that way you can get different perspectives. And I hope, like, if somebody says something that you don't agree on, that's totally fine. In the comments, just post why you don't agree with them. I what I don't want is people just like, no, you're so stupid. Because then I don't want people to see the comments and then be like, I'm not doing that again because last time I said this, I spoke my truth and people just went off on me, right? Because you know how some people pay attention to the comments. That's some If you're gonna get involved in social media, there's gonna be good and bad comments. I wouldn't say don't pay attention to the comments because that's how you get good feedback and also participate in some of the conversations. uh, so you should be checking the comments, but some people let that one bad comment stick to them. You know what I mean? Some people say some shit about me. I don't care. Like, you're talking over social media. Cool. I get told about like some people think that my mustache is off because I have it off on purpose, like not realizing that I have a cleft palate, so there's a scar there, so the hair doesn't grow and it's a little off. Like I purposely did it crooked. The fucking the the mentality in some people. Uh, No, it's the wave right now. I got to do it crooked. You know, who does straight? Hell no. Like I'm just gonna do it off to the side a little bit, and it doesn't like make me feel some type of way. Kind of like, oh, like why are they saying that word? I'm just like, are you dumb? Like you really think? Like I get lined up. I want to make sure it's straight. I want to make sure that it's a nice fit. In your head, you're thinking that I did it crooked on purpose. uh, I'm just like, if I saw somebody with like, obviously I can see it on people, like, because I have a cleft palate, and I can kind of tell when other people have it because I didn't trust me. I did a huge deep dive when I was younger because I wanted to know what it was that I had because I was like, what the fuck is this? Because I started learning obviously through other kids, kind of like you're different, you're different. Like, what's that on your face? Why is your nose like that? Why is this? Why is that? And you start learning. You're just like, my teeth were growing weird. Some of my teeth were growing weird, and like other kids were like, "That's not normal." And I'm just like, I'm thinking it's normal. so, but I love like if you're gonna be on social media, just know people are gonna. You got to accept the good and the bad because people are gonna talk about you regardless. Like it can be good, it can be bad. But at the end of the day, like if you just know your intentions and what you're trying to do, and also like that's why I bring that up because when I bring guests on, I don't want people to roast them. Like if you don't agree, you don't agree. That's fine. If you want to debate your side, more than happy to do it. Comment, debate your side. Perfect. That's why we bring up these conversations so people can do stuff like that. But don't sit there and disrespect people or make them feel like they shouldn't have said anything. Uh, because that's why I like these conversations because it opens up the conversation because there's no right and wrong answer. Like, let's be honest, like on a lot of these topics, there's no right and wrong answer. It's just you give your 2 cents. Like some of the stuff that I say, if you don't agree, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to, if your experiences led you to believe it in a different way, cool, perfect. There's no right or wrong answer, right? And people have their because sometimes I say some stuff and people are like, I don't agree with you, like you're dumb, and I'm be like, okay, what do you think? Like, tell me why you don't agree. You know what I mean? Like, don't just be like, oh, you're dumb. Like I did some videos before too, and like, one video I had to take down because people just were going crazy at her because they don't know how to be respectful and have a healthy debate. They don't agree. Uh, if you don't agree with them, tell them why you don't agree with them. Don't disrespect them. You wouldn't want to be disrespected. Imagine you post something because you like this, and then people in the comments are just like, "You're stupid. Nobody likes that. Why would you like that? That's not. It's not cool to like." Don't be like, "Oh, that's cool, but I really don't like that type of style," or But here's why: because everyone's experiences had leads people to different things. The reason I think certain ways is because of past experiences or things that I've witnessed and seen. Um, and that's why like I have my boundaries and stuff. And I'm sure people also do have them like when with people like exes and their baby daddies because I've had bad experiences. And so now I'm just like, this is why I need this from whoever I'm talking to because I'm not dealing with that shit again. You know, I'm done. I did it before. It didn't work out. No, I'm sorry. But, and like same with exes. Like, I'm sure a lot of people have dealt with crazy exes. And, that's why I'm like, need to know what your relationship is with your ex because, like, no, I don't bring that type of drama with exes. And I don't want to deal with your drama and exes. The crazy exes and stuff like that. Or not necessarily, well, yeah, crazy exes, but then also like I'm still friends with my ex. No, I've seen people still friends with their ex and they've been hooking up or they end up getting back together and then they just like leave you. You know what I mean? Like, nah, you gonna miss me with that bullshit. uh, but I'm excited just to bring these conversations. That's why I ended up changing the podcast name because it used to be called Mescla Moguls, but we changed that just because when I first started doing the podcast, it was mainly like I would have like guests talk about businesses, their businesses, entrepreneurship, and now let's be honest, a lot of people do it. It's like oh yeah, I want to talk to people about business. I'm like okay, I'm like but your growth is very limited. I'm just saying like because somebody in New York doesn't give a shit about somebody over here unless their story is crazy wild, right? Um, but ever since I started, like, I pivoted the podcast and started talking about what we talk about on TikTok, just in longer form, it's been doing amazing. And so that's why I solely talk about that stuff now. That other stuff, we don't really do that. We can touch on it, every now and then, but I really don't do that anymore. And so, that's a big thing that you need to learn how to pivot, right? Uh, because people who learn how to pivot, change, make those decisions like that are the ones that usually do very well. Uh, and you got to do it quick. Can't sit there and think about it. And I, it, I started thinking about it. I was like, this name doesn't fit. This name doesn't fit the podcast what it is now. So that's why it took me a little bit to find like what I wanted to call it. But I've always said that I like how these TikToks bring up the uncomfortable conversations, and so that's why I was like uncomfortable combos. That's what it should be called because that's what it is. Uncomfortable conversations because sometimes when I talk to people, even like I've had the guests before, I'm sure it wasn't the greatest conversation. Like some, it wasn't a comfortable conversation because they have to expose themselves a little bit, meaning like they have to talk about their life and what they've been through. Maybe they're gonna feel like somebody's gonna judge them or think about that. So it's a little bit uncomfortable to talk about. So that's why I decided to name it Uncomfortable Convos. Uh, because also some of these conversations that we had eating booty, exes, cheating, uh, married, like all these conversations being spicy, intimate, loving two girls, loving two men at the same time, uh like trust me, we've talked about a lot of things, divorce, uh you name it. We've talked about a lot of things. So it's really the con- the name of the podcast really fits now and I really like it, because it is uncomfortable conversations. Because that's what I noticed in some of the podcasts that I was doing and TikToks that I was making. I kept bringing that up that people don't want to have these uncomfortable conversations. And sometimes what happens also, like where the name came from, is somebody will see a TikTok and send it to their husband, their partner, whatever the case may be, and then now they have that uncomfortable conversation, right? Now they have the uncomfortable conversation because she sent it or he sent it for a reason, and now the guy or the girl is kind of like, what the fuck was this, And it brings up that conversation that should have been had For the longest time, it just you just didn't have it because it's hard to bring up those conversations. And I'm glad some of my videos are able to start that conversation. You know what I mean? Like you send the video, yeah, it might lead into the argument because this person would be like what the fuck? Like, why would you send me something like that? And it just it's the beginning of that conversation. So because we need to have these conversations. It's healthy to have these conversations. Imagine being with somebody where you can have a very healthy conversation. Hey, when you don't like something, when you do like something, or when uh, just like overall, what do you call it? Reassurance in certain conversations, or if someone's lacking in the spicy department, you can talk about it. Like it just being able to have these uncomfortable conversations is going to make your relationship so much better, you know? So that's why like I wanted to have a good name and with the uncomfortable convos, perfect. Just is and especially the guests that I got coming on here hopefully soon. We just gotta line up all the dates and everything. But it's gonna have we're gonna be able to have these conversations and open those doors for your relationship to have those conversations with your partner and things like that too. So I'm super excited. And I promised you guys too an episode, I'm gonna start getting back into the groove of things. And that's one thing that I didn't want to do is like get out of the groove of things. Because I got here the whole week and we were busy. This next week, like I said, I'm going to Idaho. So I'm gonna try to knock out an episode when I get back because I'm only gonna be back for a couple days and then I actually gotta go somewhere else. Uh and so, I do want to have a podcast episode for you guys. And if you guys have any people here in Arizona that you think would be a great fit for the podcast, like whether they've been like divorced, like husband addicted to to drugs and being in that type of relationship, or just anything that get their story out, and even guys, fellas, like if you have a story too, reach out. Like I did the podcast with my buddy Rodrigo, and he went uh his whole thing, like he got a divorce and his girl was beating the shit out of him, and some people might laugh at that, because they were like, you let her beat the shit out of you. And you know, I uh, I love what he said in one of the episodes, or like in the episode, that it just takes one time. Like it would have he stayed together mainly for, because obviously they had a daughter together, and then they haven't ended up having another daughter. But it was a great episode, like what made him leave at the end and why he was just taking it. Yeah, he would try to stop her, but he never hit her back because, like he said, it just takes one time. If he would have hit her back one time and she went to go tell the cops, he would have been done. Like he would have been thrown in jail. Who knows? Press charges, all sorts of stuff, because he tried to defend himself one time, and so he just basically let it happen every time. And people, especially like I hate it when like I get where he's coming from. Like I get it. Like the kids that relate, trying to see if like it'll make it work and taking the beating because it's true. Like if you would have swung back and hit her, then guess what? She has a black eye, goes and tells the cops. The cops gonna be like, he beat her, arrest him, press charges, and now he's in this whole situation. So so that's why I'm like, even guys, like if you know guys, to be on the podcast and talk about their relationships, because trust me, sometimes some guys get put through some things too, and it's great to have those conversations. That way other guys can see that relationship is not normal. Like I shouldn't be having to deal with this. I shouldn't have to do with this. Uh, like for example, who was it? It was a Shannon Sharp episode. Uh, oh, Kel from Keenan and Kel. I don't know if you guys remember that episode or those that show from Nickelodeon a long time ago. Kel girl was cheating on him multiple times and even got pregnant by other guys multiple times, and he still stayed around, you know, uh, and just getting to know why the mindset was like to stay around. Because I don't, you listen to it and you're like, shit, I would have fucking left. But then again, in when you're in the moment, your mind might be in a different place, because that's why it's hard for like people to leave like narcissistic relationships or abusive relationships, because in the moment their headspace is probably thinking something different somewhere else, uh, and it's only until they get out when they look back and they're just like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, what was I thinking? So I'm excited to have all these conversations and to be out here in Arizona because it's hot right now. Okay, yeah, I get it, but I prefer the heat. I would rather take the heat than being in the cold anymore. Like I'm over that shit. I'm gonna go, but like I said, I'm going back to Idaho tomorrow, and I saw that it's kind of cold, it's kind of chilly, and I'm just like, I mean, I'll deal with it since because I gotta be out there, and I gotta. They're having a memorial thing for. I don't want to say his name on the podcast. That's why like I try to avoid. On Wednesday, they're gonna have a memorial for him, and I definitely want to be there for that. Which I'm grateful that I'm going to be in Idaho for that. Uh, so I mean, I wasn't going to Idaho for that. It was just to go to work, but sometimes life happens, things change, and I'm just glad I'm going to be there at least for a little bit, just to see if I can, you know, show my love and support for him. So I think that's the best way to end it is like just make sure people know that because they're not gonna. If you ask them, they're probably not gonna be like, "Oh yeah, this is bugging me," or if they do, talk to them, listen to them, because you could be stopping something from happening. And the biggest thing is making sure people know that they can come to talk to you. Like I want people to know that you can call me, text me, whatever the case may be before you do something stupid. Like just call me, text me, or somebody. It doesn't necessarily have to be me. Just be like, hey, I'm going through something right now. And I'll be like, well, what's up, man? Like I'm here for you. What's up? Like, what's going on? Because you never know. Again, like you never know what people are going through. And then shout out to the people who also messaged me back because I reached out to them and they just said like, hey, like make sure you're good too. You know what I mean? Like telling me they're like, make sure you're good too. Like I know you always seem super happy all the time, and for the most part, I am. Like I love what I do, and like of course, everyone has their funk days, but shout out to them. They're also like, hey, like make sure you're good too. Make sure you're good. I know you do this stuff and you look great. You look like you're doing pretty well, like happy wise. Uh, but just make sure, like, make sure you're doing good too. And I was like, appreciate it, man. I got that. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Like, I'll read, like, and I think I would too. Like, if I got to a point where I'm just like, what the fuck, like, I think I would message somebody first before anything stupid would happen. But again, thank you guys for listening. I always love it that you guys join us. Make sure you guys follow all my socials. It's all in the description down below. I'm going to be doing some vlogs for you. I was going to vlog my trip back to Idaho, kind of like, hey, it's a comeback, but I don't want to now just because it's not going to be all happy and dandy like that now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be that because, obviously gotta be there for my boy. So, but anyways, thank you guys for listening, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
They don't hear me though. Cycles going round and round and round like a merry-go. Stand for truth or fall for any old scenario. That's why I keep my circle smaller than a Cheerio.